Check the sound. Can you hear my voice? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Mega, can you hear my voice? Hello, Mega?
Yes, bro.
Okay. Is
I
it clear
listen your
enough?
voice, but it's so slow.
So slow?
Yes.
So how ya?
So
Pacar, so how? Can you hear my voice, Pacar?
Yeah, Bu, it's clear.
yes.
It's clear.
Yeah, here.
Oh, okay. Maybe because it is raining, ya.
Yeah, I think, Bu. The connecting.
Yeah. Fajar, maybe you can check in the group. There is someone can, can click the link. Fajar, someone in Bangkalan. Bu Rosdiana. Hello, please check. All the sound, please check. Hello, Pak Salman, how are you?
Halo.
Finally you join again. Okay, wait. Where are you now, Pak Salman? Are you in Probolinggo or in Surabaya?
I custom to live in Bondowoso.
Pardon?
Bondowoso.
Oh, Bondowoso. Why do you change your position? Bondowoso. Oh, okay. Yesterday I just or maybe this morning, this early morning, I just arrived from Banyuwangi. So of course, okay. How about in Bondowoso? Is it raining too? Hi, Salin. Finally.
How are you?
Yeah, I am okay. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, it is raining here, Solin.
Oh, it's raining a lot?
It's raining. Yeah, so I'm afraid that there is some people here. What about there?
Here it's sunny, but it will rain soon.
Ah, oh, okay.
Kayak di
Uh,
sekolah alam.
to make it easy later, please explain something rather slowly, yeah, because we are far.
Okay,
You
I will
speak
talk slowly.
rather slowly. Yeah. Long time no seeing. And there will be
Yeah.
around 50 people. There will be around 50 people will join this.
Nice.
Most of them, yeah, most of them are teachers. And this is the first time I hold live from my volunteers country, because so far I never hold it before, and this is the first time. Maybe I will invite other volunteers too. Like I have told Nora also, and
Yes,
yeah, she's ready.
he told
Okay,
me.
so I just try to arrange the schedule, and because so long time I never speak with my, yeah, with foreigners, with native speakers, so it's time for me to
Yes,
practice
for you
practice
too.
practice. Yeah, during pandemic, everything has been changed.
Yes.
Everything has changed. Yeah.
How is it in Indonesia, the pandemic? Are
Maybe,
you staying at home?
yeah. I don't know how to say. I think, yeah, the rules just mask, and then, yeah, we have to hold physical distancing. Just the rule is not so strict recently, because many places have been open. Tourism places have been open, except school. Except school. School. I heard that school will start next January. So all of teaching learning process are still in online, like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm,
Okay, wait for a few minutes, 7 minutes more to check. Still 15 participants, 16 participants. Hmm. Amin. Bye, Amin. Oh, ada dari Pak Mister.
Dek kok nak pagi ya? Iya. Iki bengi.
Dek, siji kan Nek? Terus siji. Nah, iki wis tak lock out kan Nek.
Dek ini bengi. Iki lho pagi. Apa bengi? Kok ini nek waca?
Sik.
Oh, diluwungi ndak kudu. Ada main. Nanti kono banyak anak gede.
Oke.
Lah iku lah.
Nang ngomong.
Hai. Ibu. Hai bapak-bapak. Solina jadi. Nama Solina. Excuse me.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes.
Hai, Sida.
Hai Bu Nafis. Halo, you apa Miss Castro terus ya?
Oke.
Are you fine? How is your school?
Alhamdulillah.
Hmm, good.
Inggris. Ya.
Hmm?
Kak, ngaca. Ngaca.
Okay. It is 7:30 now. It's time to start the lesson. Mas Fajar, are you ready? Solin, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Wait. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear all teachers, thank you so much for coming to this program. Maybe this is when I say this is the second session after we hold the event 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, we held the event 2 weeks ago. Forum Belajar Bahasa Inggris Antar Guru session 10 2 weeks ago, and now because I have my friends from abroad, it's time to study together, to learn together. Maybe because so long time we never speak English with native speakers during pandemic. It is time for recharge our mind, recharge our brain. Then in this rainy season, this evening, thank you for coming to this group. And there will be two speakers here. The first speaker is my friend. She is Solin Lagarde. Lagarde. uh, she was born in Helsinki, Finland, and then she graduated from Paris Saclay University. And what's that? In recent profession is administrative agent in charge of interministerial matters at the prefecture of the White Lines Department. And then last time she also became volunteer in Kampung Sinau. And then she has hobby and interest art, literature, poetry, gardening, and ecology. So before we start the meeting today, let's pray together. Time is yours. Okay, thank you. So after I give a short introduction, here is the, okay, wait. Here is the schedule for our meeting today. Greeting introduction at 7:30 until 7:40. And then maybe I will make it faster. Then Solin's presentation will be around 10 minutes. And then I hope many teachers here, because most of you are teachers, though some of you are college students, I think, based on the registration that I have read. Then thank you so much, because there is Faiz Merauke so far. Faiz, thank you for coming to this group, Faiz. Far. And I hope your connection is good, ya, Faiz, ya, in Merauke so far. And then there are many people from out of East Java today. I'm so happy to see you all teachers. Here we study together, yeah. Here we study together. So everyone can speak later. You can deliver some questions related to topic that I give you. So I'm not the only one master here, but we learn together, yeah. Because I just bring you to this moment, to this program, only for sharing and learning together. So 10 minutes for Solin to present your idea about the topic that I give. And then later I give more time to deliver questions for the participants, and Solin will answer. Because the second speaker, actually I want to have two speakers directly, but because Zen in Canada, there is an urgent business, so he will come to this room around 8:30 later, because he is still having some business. So it is time for Solin to deliver your presentation. Okay, for the others, for all teachers, pay attention carefully. If you have some notes or you have questions, you can deliver later after I give you time. Okay. Thank you. Solin, time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ida. First of all, hi everyone. I hope you are all okay during this time of pandemic. These are hard times, and I hope you take care of yourself and of your beloved ones. Thank you for inviting me. So I was a volunteer at Kampong Sinau in 2017. It was really it was really a great time and a great memory to have been able to meet Indonesian students and to have a cultural exchange. So today I'm here to present you the topic that is how can youth cope with how can youth prevent the COVID-19. Well, it's a hard question first, but there are many things I think to say about this. It's first of all, it's I mean the priority would be to take care of yourself, of your family, of your friends, of people around you. This is a disease that can be caught by coughing with your hands, with your face. So if you can, you wash your hands, you wear a mask, you really, these are simple things to do, but those are necessary. But secondly, an important thing to do would be to know more about this disease, to be curious, to have information about it, and to know more. And it's interesting to know more about the origin of the disease, because it's not something that came in our lives like an alien. It's really something that our system created. I would like to give you some information that I was looking for. It's the link between ecology and the COVID-19. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. But I am not a specialist. I didn't study sciences. I studied international relations. But what I learned when I went through this research was that the COVID-19 rose or came into our lives because of the destruction of ecosystems. It's the idea that some animals can have some diseases, and when they are brought into contact with humans, they can spread diseases, and this would be the origin of COVID-19. And the reason of that would be that humans take more and more space on the planet and destroy places where animals used to live. And when they are getting near to each other, the diseases can be spread, and we are not used to animal diseases. So what can you do with this? Quite not a lot, but it's interesting to know and to be curious of what is being done around you and how this phenomenon emerged. So this is not our fault individually. We did not ask for this, but by raising awareness about this phenomenon is really a good step. And as young people, we need to have this information, to look for this information, to know more about the sources, who says what, when, to who, because you don't want to get manipulated. You do not want to get false information about this. And to me, the priority as a young person would be to present this, because information there is a lot from a lot of person. And the thing is not to say this is true and this is false, but it is to gather information and to confront it. And also as young people with technology, because today there is more and more technology, so sources of information, you can speak to each other, exchange with family, friends, and confront this information and debate, and also educate around yourself. And and do I have yes, I still have a little bit of time maybe, but you can stop me if I speak too much.
Okay, it's okay, continue.
It's okay. I would like to finish this little presentation with also, I don't know, are you in quarantine in Indonesia right now?
No,
Or
really.
no, you're
No.
not? Okay. In France, we are in quarantine again.
Oh.
Yes, for the second time. So we were in quarantine in March, from March to May, for 2 months. We had to stay home. We could not go outside. Then the weather with the summer went better. But now that it's getting cold again, the disease is spreading because we are in closed spaces. So the disease can spread more easily. And we have more and more people dying in hospitals. This is a bit, it's not controlled. So the government decided that we should be in quarantine again for a whole month. So these are scary times because we do not know what to do. So in my situation, I cannot go have a coffee with a friend. I cannot eat outside or just go walk, or maybe, but just not a long time. And so it's also about thinking not to be depressed, not to be sad, to stay home, but to find ways to help yourself to be comfortable. So for example, I like to read. I like to read poetry or literature or cook. So these are things I am going to do because it's nice time, and even though I cannot see my family, I can still call them by the phone, for example. So thank you very much for listening. I would be glad to answer all your questions. If you have questions about France, about my studies, about the link between COVID-19 and ecology, I would be really happy to answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Solin, for your short explanation. So this is a very interesting topic because since March and May, you have the first quarantine, and now it's time for the second quarantine. Yeah, compare with Indonesian government or society, there is no any second quarantine up to now. So yeah, let's discuss together about this because Solin just said talking about COVID-19 related to ecology because she likes talking about ecology. So I open this first session for 3 questions first. you may asking more questions. 3 questions for 3 participants. You can raise your hand, or you can chat me, or here type here who wants to ask more questions to Miss Solin. Okay, I open 3 questions, please. Type first, type your name first, and then operator will. Okay, Amir Hamzah ya, Pak Amir.
Iya, Bu.
Okay, good evening.
Oke, good evening, Bu.
Okay.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much for the time. Solin, I want to ask you something that can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay.
It's clear.
Okay. I have a question for you and dealing with the COVID-19 with education. So okay?
Yes.
Okay. A week ago, I have also a similar like this with Japan, and the government is regulate that education should be on, that should be closed during even in a pandemic. But in Indonesia, until right now, the education still should be an online, not should be offline, because education is not always talking about the what is it the what is it not only talking about the science, math, or even such like English, but education should be also talk about in attitude, akhlak, or adab, we call it in our our country. How about in French? Is it also still open, or education is closed during the COVID-19 pandemic? That's all, maybe.
Okay.
And maybe you may give some some explanation why it should be closed or why it should be open.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for Pak Amir. Ya, Mas Amir. Okay, when you were here last time, did you meet Miss Solin or not?
No. No.
Oh no, because it's also Kampus Sina student
I'm
at
a
the time.
student.
Solin.
I'm a student in
Okay.
Kampung Sinau time ago.
But now he is a teacher in
Yeah.
Surabaya.
No,
Nice.
in Batu.
Oh, in?
Batu.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, the second part of Al Hikmah. Okay, the second school. Okay, thank you. Faiz, do you? Okay, thank you so much. So the second question from Faiz Merauke. About the economic condition in your country right now, especially in this pandemic, or maybe because his connection is bad in Merauke is very far, Solin. It is in the eastern part of Indonesia. Okay, so you talk about this economic condition in France now.
Okay.
Okay, the second question is from Faiz, and then the third, the last, who wants to ask? Anyone wants to ask? Please raise your hand here. You can say something here in the chat.
Excuse me, Bu Ida.
Yeah. Who are you?
I haven't say my question.
Okay. So who are you? Okay, sorry.
Faiz.
Oh, Faiz. Oh yeah. Okay, Faiz, please.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry I cannot turn on my camera because my camera is so so bad.
Okay.
I want to introduce myself. My name is Faiz. I'm from I'm in Merauke, in the eastern of Indonesia. So I want to ask you, Solin, how about the condition of economic in France, especially in pandemic, in this pandemic of COVID-19. Because in Indonesia, as we know that in Indonesia, so many seller got like incentive or so many help from the government. But how about in France? How about the economic condition in France?
Okay.
I think that's all of my question. Thank you,
Thank you.
Vida and Solid.
Okay, thank you, Faiz. Okay, the last question from session 1. Anyone wants to do further question? Okay, while we are waiting for the others question, maybe you can answer the first question. It's from Amir Hamza. Education over there is closed or open now?
Sure. So in France, for the first quarantine, the schools were closed, the universities, everything. So it lasted from March to May, it was closed. And then for 2 weeks in June, schools reopened, but just for the last 2 weeks. So it was not enough to get a real education or to follow a strict educational program. Schools were reopened in September after holidays, after summer holidays, and children of more than 11 years old had to wear a mask. But children that were 10 years old or less didn't have to. Now it's changed. Schools are still open during the second quarantine. It's not as strict as the first one, but schools stay open. Universities are closed because we consider that students have laptops so they can follow classes online. But in schools for children and high school, middle school, and elementary school, it stays open. But now everyone of more than six years old have to wear a mask. So it's balanced. The priority is also that if the children do not go to school, then the parents cannot go to work. And now, because we have a very bad economic situation, and this is the second question, but it's related, the economic situation doesn't allow people not to work. So for the people to go to work, their children have to go to school. The problem is also that at school, there can be many students, many pupils, and we don't know how we can make sure that the sanitary conditions are respected. Is everyone washing hands? What if there is someone sick in the class? And what if the whole class gets sick? And what if the teachers get sick? So the teachers actually are not happy at all for the moment. They want their situation to be improved. They ask for governmental help. They ask for better for budgets, because just by wearing a mask, it doesn't prevent to be sick. So it's really hard as a teacher to go to school in these conditions, and it's also very hard for children to remind all these conditions. But the problem in this situation that we noticed since the first quarantine is that when the children don't go to school, they are asked to have their lessons online. But all the children don't have a computer. All the children do not have a phone and internet. So we have children that have computers because their families are have more wealth, so they can afford technology and they can have their classes. But we have families, you can be many children and just have one computer, and how do you arrange your classes? So it's also a sign of wealth inequalities. So we notice that those who have money, they can follow their education, and those who have less, they do not have an education anymore. And it's really hard for a teacher behind a laptop to make sure that the children understand the lesson. So we see social gaps and social inequalities exploding. And this is, I think, a phenomenon that's not just in France, it's everywhere. And maybe, and most probably in Indonesia, because your population is maybe 5 times the population of France. So it's more and more people and more children. So it's really hard. And maybe in Indonesia, you don't everyone does not have a computer or internet. And it's really hard to follow. So this is my fear, is that the social inequalities will explode and that children will not have knowledge, not discipline, and they will lack all these things. And maybe I can answer the other question about the economic situation now. Yes. So it's the economic situation, it's really complicated because here now for the second quarantine, we have shops that can be open and shops that cannot be open. For example, the shops that can be open are food shops. You can go to the supermarket and buy food, but you cannot buy a book. Libraries or bookshops are closed. Well, libraries too, in universities, it's closed. But you can buy flowers and you can buy your bread, but you cannot go to the hairdresser. And so some works, well, maybe some shops will close. So we will also see inequalities in this between the shops. For example, my father sells knives and he cannot work because these are not considered shops that are necessary to live. So it's complicated, but the government promised some helps. So shop sellers, tradespeople can have some helps, some financial helps, but maybe it's not enough, because when you have to pay for the rent of your shop and pay for your stock and pay all the charges, maybe the help will not cover it all. So maybe you will have to close. And in my work at the administration, I organized some meetings for the enterprises and societies that have difficulties, and some of them will have some helps and some of others will not. So it really depends of each situation of the societies. The fears also, it's for some other jobs like restaurants. You cannot go to the restaurant anymore. You cannot go to the coffee shop. You cannot go to a bar. To me, one of the biggest problems actually is the cultural life, because you cannot go to the museum, you cannot go to the cinema, you cannot go to the theater. So artists, they don't have money anymore. They do not, they can't live. So those who write, those who make music, those who work in the cultural, for cultural matters, it's really hard. And at the same time, when we are stuck at home, what do? We want to watch a movie, we want to listen to music, we want to read a book. So this is essential to our lives. But the people who make culture and make art, they cannot live of what they do, of what we enjoy. So I think it's sad. um, and well, it's really hard to say what will happen. Will we have economic crisis, and will we have a lot of jobless people in the next month? This is probable, but it's time that the society needs to organize itself so that we will not have people in the sleeping in the streets. And winter is coming, it's getting colder, so we have to make sure that no one will be obliged to leave the house and to sleep outside. This is very tragic.
It's tragic.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, Faiz, do you get this point? So this is the condition of economic over there.
Yeah. How about the government action for the jobless people in France?
Well, for some companies, when you still have a contract with the company and you cannot work, for example, you work in a restaurant and the restaurant is closed, so the state will pay a big part of your salary as if you worked, but it's not 100% of your salary. It's a big part so that you can still have some income. The state is helping like this, but you also have people who did not have a contract at all. So they didn't have a job before the pandemic, and during the pandemic, they still don't have one. And it's harder and harder to find one. So for these people, according to their situation, they can have some social hate. So they can pay a less important rent for the house, or well, what's really important, it's the work of associations, because the state is not helping everyone. So we need, from on one side, the help of the government, and on the other side, the help of associations. And this is how people can live. It's but for the jobless people, it's hard to say. We have some agencies that you can ask work at, but I don't know exactly what's at stake for each job. So it's hard to tell. All jobs that you can have online, well, when you can work online, it's okay, but it's hard to find a job for the moment. We still have some companies working, but the mystery or the question is, how will it be in 2 months? Will we have as many companies as today? Will we have less? And what will we do with the people who worked in these companies? The question is still open, and we don't have the answers yet.
Okay, I get the point. Okay,
Yes.
Faiz, thank you so much. I hope the answers are good for you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
There is another question from Bu Nafis. In pandemic time, what platform do the students use in their online classroom? Is it Google Meet or WebEx? Is another question.
I don't know because I'm not a student anymore.
Yeah.
I graduated last year. and I did not have any classes online. Sometimes I give English classes online, and it's through WhatsApp or Skype. But there are many. There is Zoom, there is Teams, there is Jitsi, there are a lot of platforms.
Okay. Bu Nafis, that is the answer from Miss Solin, yeah. She doesn't know because she doesn't go to school anymore. She has graduated from the school or from the university last year. So
Yes.
while we are okay, I open 3 questions more for this second session. Maybe if you have more questions, I hope all teachers here can practice the English, yeah, because okay, from Fatimatul Zahra, thank you. You may ask now. Unmute.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can you hear me, Mom?
Yes, it's
All right.
clear. You may introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Fatimatul Zahra. Sorry, I cannot open my camera right now. Wait, please wait a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So, yes, Fatimatul Zahra. My nickname is Fatma. I'm a student from a college in India. So the one
sorry.
thing that's
Slowly, please, because your connection is not so good.
Okay, so I think it's better if I turn off my video because it uses the connection a lot.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. My name is Fatma and I'm a student from a college in Indonesia. My question for Ms. Solim is, as the topic, how youth can play a role to prevent COVID-19 today. So in Indonesia, the students, college students are just following the government instruction, like wash their hands, and then wear a mask, and etc. But to prevent COVID-19 in other way, we don't do nothing. It is as far as I know. What I want to ask is, what youth generation in France do to prevent this COVID-19? What they do except following the government instruction. All right. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatma Zahra. You are a college student, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, in UMK?
Yes, right, Mom.
Okay, thank you. Okay, another question, please. Anyone wants to deliver questions? Or maybe, okay, while we are waiting for the others. Okay, this is the question from Fatma Zahra. What youth do to prevent except following the government instruction?
Sure.
Something real.
So it's a very interesting question because indeed what the government is telling us to do is not to catch the COVID-19. This is the point when they tell you to wash hands and to wear a mask. But how can we prevent such a disease to come into our lives? It's different. So as I learned about the link between disease and ecology, my answers to that would be to be careful what do you how can I it's to know what so the causes that I identified are the destruction of ecosystems, the destruction of animals habitats where they live, and also the consumption of animals, because it all began at a wet market in Wuhan in China, because we had animals alive having disease and we ate them. So how to prevent that? In France, we have a lot of people who are becoming vegetarian. They are eating less and less meat, because when you eat meat, you also eat the disease that the animal can have. And the sanitary conditions in the industry of meat, you can never be sure that it's okay, because it's also for animals to be eaten, you make them live in very small spaces, and they live with a lot of other animals, and if one gets sick, all the other get sick. So this is a point. You also give them a lot of food so they can get bigger. But this is also food that you can eat as a human. So there is more food actually for everyone if no one eats meat. Also, where deforestation, when you want to have a culture of something, so you destroy the forest, so you can, for example, have palm oil, for example. So a lot of people in France, they do not buy palm oil anymore, because they know that in most cases it's you have palm oil through deforestation. And more we want, or in France I notice that more and more people want to eat local. So you eat things that you have in your own environment, and that will not come from the other side of the planet to come to you, because it's also a matter of, it's also a part of the climate crisis. The fact that we have more and more transport, we have more and more CO2 emissions. So this is affecting the air that we breathe. This is affecting the cultures. This is affecting the heat, the temperatures. And this destroys ecosystems. This disturbs animal wildlife. And it has, and then the diseases, they get close to us. So this is a whole phenomenon with everything interlinked. So when you know that, you decide to change your own lifestyle, because of course you will not, you're as an individual, because you're not a big business company that can stop destroying forests, destroying ecosystems, for example. But besides that point of your own consumption, it's also, I see more and more associations, more and more people gathering and demonstrating. So a lot of people try to organize to make a lot of awareness, to spread a lot of messages, to say this is what the, so a lot complain about that the government didn't do anything before the crisis, and that the government started to do something just when the crisis was already here. Another problem is also the situation in the hospitals, because a lot of people get sick, and people working in the hospitals, they are not enough, and they can work 24 hours or maybe 2 days without having to stop. without stopping. So they want to have better wages. And so I have a lot of friends that ask the government to, well, they don't have an answer, but they, through Facebook, through Twitter, through social networks, they ask the government to do something for these people working in the hospitals, or to stop destroying the environment. But the government isn't really replying to that. But the essential point would be not to lose faith and not to lose hope.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's Fatima Tulzaro. Do you get the point?
Yes, ma'am. That's
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So there is another question from Hidayatul Umma, Bu Hida. In Indonesia, there are many doctors and nurses die because of COVID-19. So what about in your country? Is it the same?
Unfortunately, yes. We have had doctors and nurses who died of the COVID-19. And also not just in hospitals and clinics, but also in homes of retired people, of old people houses. We have the people working there that died too because of that. And I have friends who work as nurses and in hospitals, and they're asked to work even if they are sick, because they do not have enough people to work. So this is dangerous for the people working, but also for the other people who go to the hospital. Yes. But unfortunately, yes, we have the same.
Oh, so sad. Okay, that's Bu Hida. That is the answer from Miss Solin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So there is another question from Bu Ita Rizkia. Bu Ita, where are you? Are you ready? Bu Ita from Galaxy A11. This is Bu Ita Rizkia. Bu Ita, are you ready? Okay. Unmute. Unmute your voice.
Okay.
Unmute, Bu Ita.
Voice.
Okay. Okay, Bu Ita, come on. You may ask question.
Okay. Good evening, Miss Alin. Good evening.
Hello.
I want to ask you some question. Hello.
Yeah.
I want to ask you some question. My voice.
Yes.
Yeah. Directly.
Okay. Okay. I want to know about the government. What is the government doing when the people break some rules? When the people don't obey the rule from the government, do the government give some punishment for some people who
disobey,
who don't obey the rule? Yeah, maybe when they don't wear a mask, and then when they, yeah, maybe they have to pay for some money for the punishment or put into jail. And that's the first question. And for the second question, I want to ask to the Solin, is there, when you get bored at home, do you go to some tourism destination in this pandemic? Is it open or closed? Is the government allowed some people to visit to the destination, to the tourism destination? Only that. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Ita. So there are two questions from Bu Ita. The first is punishment or fine for disobey people, and the second one is tourism place open?
Sure. So in some places, you must wear a mask. It's, for example, public transports. If you want to take the train, the bus, the metro, the subway. If you want to, at work, you have to wear a mask. And some cities, you must wear a mask everywhere. For example, in Paris, even in the streets, you have to wear a mask. If you don't, you can get a fine. So you will pay. It's more than 100 euros, 135 euros, which is maybe I don't know 1,000 rupiah Indonesian. I don't know exactly, but it's still a lot of money. So if you do that too often, you will pay more and more. For example, on Monday, you don't wear your mask and you pay a fine. Okay? But on Tuesday, if again you don't wear your mask, you will pay more than 135 euros. And then if a third time you will pay maybe 1,000, so 10 times more money. And if you still don't wear it and the police notices it's not your first time, you can eventually go to jail if you do it too often. But it never happened for the moment. It's something that's said to scare people, I think, more. So, and then for the second question, you cannot go outside Europe, for example. But it also depends of the countries. For example, Belgium, which is a neighboring country to France, we have a border in common, and Belgium decided that we French people could not go there anymore. But for example, we can go to Italy because the Italian government didn't say anything about it. For example, I cannot go to Asia, I cannot go to America, I cannot go to Africa because it's outside Europe. And now that we are in a quarantine, I cannot go anywhere. So
just stay at home.
Yeah, just
okay, Miss Aline, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, at the first time, at the first time I speak with a native speaker like you, I feel so nervous here. And I'm glad to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, Miss Aline. Thank you.
You too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vita, for asking. So there is another question from Sikit. Okay, Sikit, are you ready?
Yeah, bye.
Yes.
Okay, you can repeat your question.
Okay, Solin.
Hello.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Sigit. I'm from Kampung Sinau. I would like to ask, is there a vaccine now in Paris? If there is, how should the society pay for have a vaccine? If there is not, when the government will give the vaccine or have a vaccine for the society? I think that's all.
Okay. Thank you. So the question is whether we have a vaccine and when will we have one? For the moment, we do not have a vaccine because usually in the medical world, we need more than 2 years to have a vaccine made available. it's hard to create a vaccine and to be sure that the vaccine is okay and that it doesn't create more problems than without. So a vaccine needs to get tested a lot for a long time, and you cannot just invent something and say this is the solution. We need to be tested to be sure there is no side effect. So for the moment, it's too soon. We have had many studies, and most of them were stopped because people who were volunteer to test the vaccine got sick. So it's too soon, but there are many companies, pharmaceutical companies that are working on it. But I think it will come in more than a year or two. I'm not sure at all because I'm not scientific, but from what I read, we will need some time.
Oh. Okay, thank you. That's it. That is the answer.
Okay.
Any other question? Okay, I still open one question more before while we are waiting for Zen comes to the room. Because he said that he will come at 8:30, but I'm still waiting for him. Okay, this is from Bu Ardina Lukitasari. My connection. Hi, Solin and Buida. Nice to meet you. Is there any rule about who can go out to buy the necessity in a family, or a whole family can go out together as long as they obey the protocol? This
Yes,
is the question
good.
from Bu Ardina.
Thank you. And so the government said that the whole family cannot go to the grocery store. It must be one person of the family, so that there are less people in the shop.
Just one, yeah.
Just one. But for some families, it's difficult because sometimes there is one parent, for example, just one mother with 3 children, and she does not have a babysitter. She lives alone with her children. So she has to, for example, to go to the store with her children because she cannot let her children alone at home. So these are hard situations. So you can make an exception, but the rule is that there is just one person per family going to the store.
Okay. Okay, that's Bu Ardina. Do you have more questions? So the answer is you can't. Just one person come to the shop. So it is very strict, yeah. Compare with Indonesian people, we can go anywhere now. We
Really?
can go everywhere. Yes. I don't know what to say. Okay, this one another question. Okay, this is last question, yeah. How about a wedding party or other celebration? Is it allowed? I don't think. Is it allowed for wedding party?
So no, because the government asked that there is no gathering. A gathering is when many people meet, gather, and can be no gathering of more than 6 people.
Oh, no
So
more than 6 people.
yes, and now because we're in quarantine, so it's not possible. It's just if you live with your family, you can see your family, but the idea is that you cannot see other people from your family or from where you live. So there are no weddings. Today is Halloween. There will be no party. In France, we celebrate Christmas. It's in December. It's a cultural party in a celebration with the family. And it's in 2 months. And we still don't know if we can celebrate it with our families. I celebrate it every year with my family. And this year, I still don't know. It will depend.
Okay, thank you, Solin. Thank you so much for your explanation
You're
today.
welcome.
Time is over for Solin. Solin, you may leave this room because Zenin has come. But it doesn't matter if you want to stay here. It doesn't matter. But if you have another business, you may leave this chat room because Zenin has been here. Thank you so much for your explanation, for sharing today. Hopefully, it will be useful for us to broaden our knowledge and experience about France condition in pandemic era. Thank you, Solin.
Thank you very much. I will have to go, unfortunately, but thank you very much for your time, for your attention, and I hope you take care of yourself and you are okay. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Okay, now we come to the second speaker. This is Zenin Mittal Mercer. Nickname is Zenin, and then place date of birth Toronto, Canada, address in Ottawa, Canada, and then university is a student in Carleton University. Recent profession is in homeless women's shelter worker, and then job experience is lifeguarding, volunteering experience. Last time he also became volunteer in Kampung Sinau and also in Nepal English School. Then his hobby and interests are biking and climbing. Zanin, 10 minutes for you to present your topic.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody. So sorry I couldn't be here for the whole time. I'm happy to see some familiar names. I've met some of you in person, which is really nice. So like Buida said, my name is Zenin. I'm 20 years old, and coronavirus, COVID-19 in Canada has also been an issue for many people. So to give you some statistics, so far, Canada has had 300, almost like 200 to 300,000 cases of coronavirus. And just last week, we had our 10,000 death mark. So we had over 10,000 deaths now due to coronavirus. So it has been an issue here, and definitely we're trying to be socially distant and aware and wear our masks everywhere to try and reduce the spread. So for youth, I'm a young person and my life has changed. I can't go to parties or hang out with a lot of friends. So the one thing Canada has done is we've made bubbles. Did Solène talk about bubbles in France? Maybe. So in Canada, we have bubbles. So they're like, basically what it means is you can have 10 people and 10 people are in your bubble and you can't hang out or socialize with anybody outside this bubble of people. And the same issue for them. They can only hang out with the 10 people in this same bubble. And you can't cross bubbles or go into somebody else's bubble. It's just 10 people, and only those 10 people can interact with each other. So that's kind of the rule here. If you hang out or see people outside of those 10 people, you should wear a mask or you should stay 6 feet, 2 meters apart. So that's kind of what's occurred here. And yeah, for me, like I try and spend more time outside, and I think that's important for young people, important for your mental health, and important to just keep a normal, to be outside and be active. So I'm doing a lot of cycling and some rock climbing, and these activities don't require a lot of interaction with other people. So it's a good way to keep healthy and mentally okay because being isolated and alone during these times is difficult. But no big gatherings in Canada, so you can't have weddings with a lot of people, or same thing, right? Parties. These types of events, conferences have been canceled. No more concerts to go to, or big parades or festivals. So this has become an issue. But most young people in Canada, they spend their time like at restaurants or at a bar, or doing activities with friends. So they have tried to find solutions to keep these economies running in Canada. So more activities outside. For example, we've had like patios. Patios are like outside restaurants. So with more fresh air, it's safer to be outside than it is to be inside. And but now it's getting cold, so more people are spending more time inside, and the cases have gone back up. We had a little amount of cases, maybe like 500 per day, and now we're back to 1,000, 2,000 every day. And this is because more people are inside, it's cold outside, so more people are in small spaces, and that's where you can kind of catch COVID-19. Outside right now, if you're curious, it's like -4. So I'm wearing gloves and a lot of layers. Um, but it's still important to be outside. Other things youth are trying to do, there's still like many issues that exist in Canada, like racism and um, environmental issues to do with climate change. So these issues we're still fighting for, and we still want to make a difference. So there have been protests and many issues the youth are passionate about, and the youth have tried to put these protests online, put them, and when they do real protests on the street with signs to hold, and they go to government buildings um, to show their support. Everyone is wearing a mask, and everyone is trying to stay apart. But they, just because COVID-19 is one of the big issues, they still are trying to fight for the other many important issues that still exist and still are ongoing, to make sure that they still have the attention of the people, because COVID-19 has really distracted people from a lot of issues as well, and have made people forget about poverty and racism and climate change, because COVID-19 has taken over. But the youth have still tried to reintroduce these issues to make sure they're still getting the attention that they need. I feel like Solen might have covered a lot of similar topics, so I don't want to be repetitive. But I know that Canada and the United States were very close by, so our borders are still closed. So you have to quarantine if you do any traveling, and many big cities are they have stricter rules. So there's stricter regulations on quarantine and on where you can visit and where you can go inside or take out delivery. So it differs different cities. But like for the United States, the border, it's closed, and they have a lot of cases. So they have not as good control over it as we do in Canada, just because there's more people and different culture as well on how they want to play their day-to-day life. Yeah, I mean, I could take some questions now and see if you have any questions that weren't answered by Solen about coronavirus or youth, or about Canada, and how life is right now during the pandemic.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Lenin. There is, I will open one session for 3 questions.
Okay.
Now, start from Puratna. Come on, please. Puratna, are you there? Hello? To whomever wants to...
Yes, hello, Miss Ida. I'm here. Hold on.
Okay. Okay, come on. You may deliver your
Okay,
question.
hold on. Wait. Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Zenin.
Hello.
Is my voice clear from there?
Yes.
All right. So, hi, Zenin. How are you?
Good. Long time no see.
Yeah, me too. All right. From the presentation that you have done, so I want to ask you about the activity that the old men the old men and old women do there in Canada. So like you said before that the young people like Zenin and the others, you could do any good activities outside like cycling or climbing. So you can keep your body healthy like that. So how about the old people then there? What did they do? Because we know that coronavirus is everywhere and they're very risky to go outside. So for the old people and babies or children, we know that it's very risky, right? So what do they do there in Canada? And the second question is about how could they what's that? I mean the supply, the food supply, or if they want to go to the grocery or supermarket to buy some daily needs, how could they do that? I mean, here is for the old people. How could they do that? So, is there volunteers like that to help them to get the groceries for them
Okay.
or something like that?
So,
Okay, that's
Okay,
all my
thank you.
questions.
Thank you. I
Thank
get
you.
the point. Okay, then this is the question from Buratna. There are 2 questions. The first is activity for the old people during this pandemic, and the second one is about food supply. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the first question, older people like seniors, people who are above the age of 65, they have been really affected by the coronavirus, unfortunately. So they are the most vulnerable, like you said. So in old people's homes, we have like long-term care homes where they have support and doctors. And these places have been very vulnerable and struck by COVID-19. So there's been a lot of deaths and issues inside of these homes. And it's unfortunate because they can't be outside, they can't be active, and this is why they're vulnerable, right? So other activities that they might do is they can go on walks and do some slower things like they would, but unfortunately, like interacting with other old people, it's difficult for them, and it's a cultural change as well because wearing a mask and the pandemic, it's a new issue that they're not familiar with, and it's difficult to understand, right? And then your second question about food. There are certain delivery options now for people at risk, and you can get food delivered to your house and food delivered to wherever you want, which can make going to the store easier, but it is expensive. So COVID-19 has affected more of the more of the poorer populations who have to go to the grocery store and work a lot of hours, and they interact with people who are poorer. So that has become an issue. But still, there's still a good food chain and still enough food growing and being supplied to grocery stores to feed the population. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Zenin. Thank you, Miss Ida.
Okay. Thank you for Buratna. For the others, Bu Ita again. Another question. From Bu Ita, I read an article in the newspaper that Canada is now COVID-free. Is it true? Ah.
No. It's not true. Still, there's many cases here. Many.
Oh, still many, yeah. So
Yeah, not true.
what about the nurses? What about the doctors? In Indonesia, it happens here. So there are many of them die because of, yeah, because of the COVID-19. What about there?
No, we have a lot of personal protective equipment. So a lot of face shield. You have to wear suits to protect yourself. So there's a lot of protection to make sure that the people working in healthcare, people working in hospitals, people working with old people, they are protecting themselves, right? So that's really important. We have had some doctors and nurses who have died, some cases, but they have a lot of prevention to make sure this doesn't happen. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, another question because time is limited for the other. Please, I want all teachers here are very active to asking more, to ask more questions. Yeah, because this is kind of discussion. So not only me, just a moderator, I just help you. But okay, for the others, come on, you may ask questions. Raise your hand, or you can write here if your connection is bad. Bu Rostiana, Bu Yatno. Okay, Ilham Naufal Nawaf. Okay, you can ask. Come on, Ilham. Ilham, are you there? You're mute.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good evening, everyone. Is it clearly? Is it
Clear. You may introduce yourself first.
Oh yeah. My name is Ilham Naufal Nawaf. You can call me Ilham. I'm from Kudus. I'm student of college, Muria Kudus University, and I want to ask to Zenin. Talking about the COVID-19, is there any special some regulation from the Canada government to protect the society, beside wearing a mask and of course maintains a distance or cycle distance? That's my question.
Okay.
Thank you. You may answer directly because time is limited.
Okay. So any other regulation? Well, you have to quarantine if you're doing any travel. You said mask, social distance, and to have the same bubble to make sure that everyone is in the same bubble and you don't cross the bubbles. Those are the main regulations and rules that Canada has for COVID-19.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, the last question from Bu Ardina. As a youngster that usually very active, what did you do nowadays to overcome the boredom besides workouts? Some useful activity that Canadian youngsters.
I mean, I do a lot of cycling, a lot of biking, a lot of climbing, and I'm at school too, so I have to do a lot of studying. So I'm very busy. So sometimes I forget about COVID-19. I'm never bored. I'm never bored.
Never bored, Bu Ardina. He's okay. So climbing, hiking,
Yeah.
cycling. Okay.
Studying, lots of studying.
Studying, yeah. But public library is open.
You can take out books, but you must order online first. You can't go inside.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, all kinds of public service are open.
Yeah, they're open, but limited. Yeah, exactly. But
so what are you doing now? You are cycling.
No, yeah, but I'm at work, but I'm just taking my break outside because I don't like being inside.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so this is the last question for Zen because he is in working time. So he has only 20 minutes speaking with us. Thank you very much, Zen. You have to continue your working.
Thank you for having this conference. I think the last question was about online school, and yeah, online school
Yes.
is difficult just because it's difficult to have professors that you can't talk to in person, and it's confusing with deadlines and just confusing overall. But it allows me to do more things, and it's more flexible with my schedule now. But that was the last question, and it was so nice to see everybody. And I hope Indonesia, you stay healthy and that
Thank
everybody
you.
is still happy and still has a good heart and a good mindset because it's difficult times for everybody, but it'll be okay, right?
Thank you for you too.
Okay.
Thank you, Zen.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye,
See
everybody.
you again. Continue.
I'll talk later. Bye.
Bye. Oh, so sorry because Zen has to work because he has different. He forgets to set his time. He said he thought that the time for our program is tomorrow, but he forget. Oh, tomorrow is today. He said like that. That's why he has to work. He has only 20 minutes to speak with me or to speak with you all. So I'm so sorry. We have to finish earlier. But before that, maybe you can give or maybe you have some reviews for or suggestion for these events because as you know for the new participants here because a forum belajar bahasa Inggris antar guru at the time I held offline. So we made a discussion in some places and then some teachers and we discussed some topics like that. But now it is wider because we hold it online. Then I hope in this in this forum all teachers can be more active to speak because I myself want to learn from you too because all of you are great teachers, yeah. So maybe you have a good experience, you want to share something like that. So for today, I have only two speakers from Canada and from France. I hope 2 weeks later or next week, maybe I have to hold 2 weeks later. I will invite other what's that other volunteers or other speakers to share another idea, another topic. So all teachers here, thank you so much for joining this program. Any questions before I close the program from all teachers? Because some of you I don't know, I never know you. So maybe like Bu Rosdiana, Pak Yatno, Bu Uswatun Hasana, something like this. I never know you. So maybe if this is enough like this, I just know you via online. But if you want to share something here, please you may. Like Pak Hafizur, Pak Mustaqim, Pak Mustaqim. Pak Mustaqim is from where are you from, Pak? Sorry, I forget. Pak
Miss Ida.
Okay. Bu
Yes,
Ratna
it's me.
ya?
Yes.
Oh ya.
Yes, it's me. Yeah.
Oh ya, oh sorry.
Okay.
Attendance list ya, forget. Oh my God. Mbak
Attendance list.
Sophie, please share the attendance, please.
Yes.
Mbak Sophie.
Miss Ida, I think that this is a great event for us. So thank you very much once again for letting us can, yeah, at least we can chat with native speakers like Celine and Zenin, like that. So good job. This is a great program, and I hope next time we can do it again. And about the participants, yes, I think this is bigger in numbers, bigger in numbers than before. And I also, what is that? I used to be absent for many times, having offline meeting like this. So yeah, this is good. That I
Okay,
can
thank you,
join.
Bu Ratna, because
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time we face to face now. We
Yeah.
meet face to face, but now we have to do online like this.
Yeah, at least this is what we can do in this pandemic era, yeah.
Oh
Okay, hello
yeah.
everyone. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Okay, here is the attendance list. Maybe if you need the certificate, you may contact Mbak Sophie. If you don't, it doesn't matter because all the donation will be distributed to the poor people around Kampung Sinau, Sidoarjo. So thank you so much for last time who have ever joined this program too. We collect the money, we collect the donation. Later, we will distribute to the people who need like that. So if you need certificate, you can contact Mbak Sophie. If you don't, it doesn't matter because here we share. Any questions or any suggestion maybe for all teachers here? No questions? Okay, if there is no questions, I have, oh yeah, take picture. Yeah, we have to take picture for documentation. So all of you, I hope you can open your video. We can take picture together for documentation.
How can we do that, Miss Ida? Because in my handphone,
It's okay, just open your video because my operator will take the video, take photo, will take photo. Just open your screen. Okay.
there is a member that name Faiz Merauke. Is it from Merauke?
Yes,
That's the
he's
name?
my student. He's working there.
I see. Hello, Faiz. Are you in Merauke now?
Yeah, he is in Merauke. He is working there. Okay, Mas Fajar, are you ready to take picture for us? Bu Nafis, you may open your face. All of you, please open your face. I hope. So sorry for a few minutes. Bu Melinda, Bu Risma, Bu Iva Yuni. Okay, ready? Please
Okay.
count. Okay,
I will
please count.
count 1 until 3.
Yeah.
Okay. First slide. 1, 2, 3.
How many times?
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Second slide.
Second slide.
Second slide. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
How many slides?
Just 2 slides. Okay,
Oh,
done. Thank you.
Okay, the next.
Okay.
Okay, finish, Fajar?
Finish, ma'am.
Oh, finish. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Bu Ardina. You are far away from Sulawesi, ya, Bu Ardina? Sulawesi or Sumatera, Bu Ardina?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I forget. Yeah, Bu Ardina is from SD terpencil, blah, 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 gitu, like that. So, last month,
my God.
the previous session,
Sulawesi, ma'am.
Huh?
Sulawesi.
Yeah, from Sulawesi, from SD terpencil.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Sulawesi. Yes, we can.
Always joining this program. Thank you. Thank you for the others. I hope our meeting today will be useful for you. Hopefully, we can make it. We meet again in the next session. So sorry for any mistakes. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Bu.
Ya.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
You Meli.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.